Hey, welcome back to Mechanical Pros. I'm here with Austin today. We got a great one. We're talking about indoor air quality, specifically GPS. GPS Air, they provided us a smoke test kit. GPS is great for indoor air quality. We've been promoting it a few years. One of the things that is hard to explain to customers, and Austin works primarily with the engineering community here, laying out jobs and communicating new technologies. But GPS is, we're releasing ions into the space. And it's really hard to see ions because they're invisible. Anytime you have anything floating in the air, we can demonstrate how GPS works and how it agglomerates and causes particles to bond to each other and then drop out. So what we have here is a tube, and then we have DM-2, duct mount 2, yep. Is that the right model number? And I like this. It's got the little saddle that can wrap onto a round duct. And so it's mounted to this tube. We have this chamber, and then this chamber will separate it. And what we'll do is we'll just fill this thing up with some smoke, and then we'll turn the GPS unit on, and then it'll probably take a few minutes to kind of really demonstrate what happens to this smoke as it fills up. You think that's good?
Yeah. I think that's great.
You want to throw
so
that?
this tube, two solid ends, and then it's open in the middle right now. We've got the divider. So so there's no doubt we're going to let the smoke settle, as they say.
Yeah.
That's probably good.
All right, yeah. All right, putting a divider in, and then we'll add a little smoke on this side, and then we'll add a little smoke on the other side. How are we doing there? Add a little smoke on that side.
Let's add a little smoke.
While you do that, I'll turn this battery pack on. Doesn't take much power to power up these GPS units. This one is for about how many CFM?
2400 CFM.
Okay.
And it's less than 10 watts.
Okay.
I think of power. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so we just plug this thing on. I can see there's a green light on here on this side. You cannot see that. We're using this little battery pack here, which is pretty cool. And then we will turn these two lights on. These lights will both be at 5,000 Kelvin and 25% light power, and we'll kind of shine it through there to kind of demonstrate the agglomeration process. And so both sides are saturated with smoke. I'd say super saturated, and we'll sit here and watch them go. Austin, kind of walk me through applications that you work with your clients with implementing GPS, and kind of some of the tactics that you talk to them about and benefits.
So one reason I'm excited about this, not only does it look good, exposed ductwork is in now because it saves the owner money at the end of the day, and we've got this nice black look. Some pushback I get from either the engineering community or the owners is, well, I'm not getting ions in my space. Maybe they understand and appreciate the technology, but maybe they're not getting ions in their space. So the question is why? Two main reasons could be that they have ionization upstream, but it's there to clean their coils. It's not there to clean the air in the space. If that's the case, maybe they have a long duct run. What we can use these for is we can put ions closer to the space, because ions last 60 seconds, give or take.
Yeah.
So if you've got a long duct run, maybe slow moving air, you might need to subsidize your space with this DM-2, which looks nice. You just give it power. You don't worry about turning it on and off with a fan. You just leave it running. That's what we say. It's 9 watts.
Yeah, let it run.
Maybe 5 cents a month, a year. I don't know. So just let it run. So that would solve our no ions to the space.
I'd say the whole strategy of ionization changed in the world of COVID. So like pre-COVID, everyone was worried about mold growing on their coils. They're worried about keeping those coils clean, and everyone was worried about ionizing that evaporator cooling coil in the actual air handling unit. And then in the middle of the pandemic, post-COVID, everyone was trying to get ions into the space for sterilization, indoor air quality issues, making sure that they were sanitizing surface areas and agglomerating the air that we're actually living in and breathing in, and that those particulates were forced to drop out faster and then ultimately get either vacuumed up or caught up in the filter.
Correct. So if you're using this to clean your coil, the ions are going to get sucked up at the coil. They're not going to get into the space. You could do both if you wanted to, but this one's great to get to the space because in a room like this, we could put it in the main run coming in.
Yeah. So how are we looking here? I mean, I feel like I can already kind of see it's definitely cleaner and clearer on this side where we actually are treating it. And if you're not satisfied, I mean, obviously we're cleaning up some ions, right? I mean, we're cleaning up some
air.
Let's add a little bit more in there. What do you think about that?
I like that. So one thing I've been, we throw the word ions around, and what is an ion?
Yeah.
It's a word that people say, but we learned it in middle school, high school.
Yeah, some sooner than others, yeah.
I went to Ole Miss. We studied that stuff, very advanced college. So I know ions in and out, but it's when a particle is charged either positively or negatively. And so air is made up of atoms, and when you charge one of those, either add an electron or take one away, it becomes not angry, but it wants to bond with something. And in nature, ions, both positive and negative, live together. So outside, a day like today, there might be 2,000 to 3,000 ions per cubic centimeter, right? But inside, we might only have 300 or close to zero. And so what we're doing is we're basically creating an environment inside that's more similar to what's outside.
Natural outdoor conditions, yeah.
And they're created, as you know, I don't know if they taught this at Auburn, but ions are created in huge amounts before and after thunderstorms. Waterfalls.
Yeah, the beach.
Yeah. But that type of ionization creation also creates ozone. And so what's important when you're looking at different ionization creating products is to make sure that they're not giving off any ozone.
And so GPS, everything is basically designed and patented to only provide an electrical volt limit that is basically guaranteed not to create ozone. But in this whole process, we're creating agglomeration, and this is what would be happening in your facility. And you can't see it without smoke being added to the environment. But it also creates an application where you could have a more efficient filtering system. You might be able to get away with a less, like I say, a MERV 8 filter, and then by adding ionization to it, it might be adding as reacting or behaving like a higher MERV filter, because that agglomeration is causing those particles to stick together and then get sucked up into the filter faster, because they're bigger, because they are charged and they're seeking their other friends to stick to, and the agglomeration process causes them to get stuck up in the filter or fall out and get vacuumed up.
And when they become a larger particle, smaller particles can be suspended in air. And this isn't GPS, this is Google it and you can see when in a MERV rating website, another filter company will post this. Smaller particles will be suspended in air and aren't big enough, they don't have enough mass to be sucked back to the return. So what we're doing is we're making them a little bit bigger so that the airflow actually makes them flow back. Some other pushback I get, I don't have ions in my space. These are self-cleaning, right?
Yeah.
I've got a GPS unit at my house. It's not this duct mounted. It's a FC48, which is good for 4,800 CFM. And it's got the self-cleaning arm. But John, my fan, it sprung a leak of oil of some sort. And so it sprayed oil everywhere in my air handler. You're gonna have to clean oil off. And so what I like to say is once a year, this is easy. We can just click this off. You have an alcohol pad or a toothbrush. You can just make sure it's not coated with anything that's too strong for the arm.
Yeah.
Right? Because they are self-cleaning, but nothing in this world is good for 30 years without checking on. Right? And you need to make sure the light is still glowing green. Right?
Yeah.
So just common sense things. I hear that a lot. Is it's self-cleaning, but it got dirty after 5 years.
Yeah, you'll know it works if you, I'll cycle it off right now, and then I just did that on this battery, and then I'll turn it back on, and you'll hear the light click, and then you'll hear the windshield wiper arm kind of rotate.
Wiping dust off.
Yeah, you'll audibly hear it turn, and you'll know that it is working. And then if you want to verify the ions in space, you can always get an ion meter and get an accurate, true measurement of what it is in the space too. This side we've added smoke to. once. This side we're treating actively. We've added smoke to it twice. It looks like most of it's fallen out and probably just stuck on the perimeter edges of that interior tube. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this DM-2. I'm going to pull it out, and very little smoke is almost none has come out. I'll tell you what. Yeah, let's grab a paper towel. And no smoke is emitted out, but I can see that it is stuck to around the perimeter there.
You want to open your side?
Yeah, sure.
I'll open mine. All right.
All right.
You got any smoke?
I got no smoke coming out.
Wipe the front and see if it's clear. Oh yeah. All right. Let's see if this one's got any smoke.
Yeah, still got smoke coming out. On your side, no smoke coming out. On my side, but it is all agglomerated to the edges of this tube here.
Because it has nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, yeah.
In the real world, you have filters and things like that.
And then so we could put this thing back on. It's got an airflow indicator on there because you want these are your brushes. You want these brushes like a football goal, like you're kicking a football through the goal in the direction of the airflow. So you want the airflow going.
The air is the football.
The air is the football.
Through the uprights.
And then we can open this back up.
You know, one thing I think is cool, you can kind of see it right now, but I haven't moved in a while, so I know there's no draft, so to speak, in there. There's no moving parts in this DM-2, unless it's cleaning, which it's not right now. But you can see smoke moving around right in front of the unit, whereas over here it's
a little more stagnant.
Yeah, it's a little stagnant, and the lights really help show that.
Yeah, we wanted to make the invisible visible in a demonstration. GPS Air's done a really nice job creating this test stand for us, and we're excited to show it to you guys. But this is a great product that's great for odor control, indoor air quality control. With all these wildfires going on and smoke, indoor air quality becoming a more of an issue, this could be a solution. Thanks for hanging out with me, Austin. Good to be with you.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. We'll do it again. And thanks for checking us out on Mechanical Pros. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you'd like us to hit anything that you specifically would like us to cover. And we'll catch you next time on Mechanical Pros.